Alright, see if today ends up as a nice full stream day. Let me just pull up everything, see how well it's going on, send some links out as I usually do when I'm trying to fumble around and make it seem like I know what I'm doing. Just give me a moment to send out some links and then everything should be fine and dandy. Alright, well, I'm like halfway done, alright, 1 second. Yeah, man, the chainsaw shit is sick. What's up, Uriah Wright? How's it going? Nah, I'm still here, Uriah Wright. I'm uh I'm just being a little more cautious, and I'm not gonna review anything from that company that went after that dude in Japan. So I'm just gonna talk if I want to talk about Mary Graver Memphis. I'll do it in stream and whatnot. But how are you guys all doing today? How's it going? What's up with everyone on this nice Wednesday? I got today off, so figured I'd do a nice stream, see how you guys are all doing, and try and catch up on anything that we didn't get to really go over the weekend, and maybe have a nice conversation. Anyone have anything? Yeah, the chainsaw. Why am I not using the chainsaw background? That's a great point. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let me get my goddamn chainsaw man background. Chainsaw man is the shit right now. Like fucking, I'm trying to recommend that to everybody, dude. Chainsaw man is so cool. Oh my god, it made such a big image. Hold on. Such a good start. Such a good start with Chainsaw Man. Dude, Chainsaw Man is fucking lit. We gotta get that gross manga stream logo out of there. And dude, Chainsaw Man is fucking crazy. Look at this dude. Dude, I'm excited for Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is going to be. I'm hoping it becomes like the next big, like, shonen. Just because it's so interesting, like, right out of the gate. Has so much that really just kind of get like, okay, you get the main character's powers, his job and his world. Like, I don't think anyone is expecting goddamn chainsaw stuff. Oh yeah, nice Tombat. I'm getting everybody in the Discord in there. I'm getting everybody I can to in the that I know through the Discords to come read Chainsaw Man. I knew when I saw the writer who did Fire Punch that there was absolutely no way that he was gonna write an actual shonen. It was gonna be some crazy, crazy, probably barely at the borderline between shonen and seinen, and I'm super super happy about it. Fire Punch is entertaining. It's cool, but it's definitely not something like this where it's just wild and just completely blows your mind of what you were expecting. I was expecting maybe some duty, he fights some monsters and maybe he gets wrapped up in something and just a normal shonen thing. Maybe he shows off his skills and everyone's like, "Whoa, that guy's pretty good." And instead we got this dude getting completely murked and then brought back as a insane half man, half chainsaw hybrid. High School of the Dead shit out of Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I don't really like manga stream, but I can't help it when they give out stuff like they translate stuff like this. And that was one of the only things that I was actually really excited for recently from the new stuff because a lot of shonen manga are coming out within the next couple months. They're gonna, obviously the fiscal year is started. They're gonna be putting out all this stuff. So excited for everything that they're coming out. They had a great start with freaking this. I'm on Discord. Oh, I'm on Discord. I'm not in the chat, but I will be in a bit. We can talk about Chainsaw Man, but for now, I am just chilling out, and I will be probably a good chunk of the way into the stream. Right now, I want to get comfortable, get everything going. Yeah, nice, Larry Jones. How's it going? How are you? Yeah, Jinbei is the next Straw Hat. I what kind of bothers me about that is just I don't know how he's gonna live. I have no idea how Jinbei is gonna live like that. He's alone, and frickin' and Big Mom is he disrespected Big Mom to her face. So like I'm really confused to how exactly he's gonna get out of there alive. To be perfectly honest, like I feel like he's gonna die. I feel like he should die, but I don't. Maybe he's got some crazy exit strategy. Jumps in the water, and there were some fishermen there, so maybe they help him. Maybe the other fishermen help him. That's obviously a high possibility, but I don't know. I'm hoping Oda doesn't do something ridiculous and like Big Mom's like, well, I didn't feel like killing him. Definitely should be. Big Mom should definitely be killing him. But man, fuck, I want to talk about other stuff, but I'm so like mesmerized by Chainsaw Man. It was so awesome, the first one, and I don't remember the last time I was this excited for a brand new series was Golem Hearts. Golem Hearts, I enjoyed that a lot, but this man, this is just gonna be so cool to run through Chainsaw Man. I'm hoping that Shonen Jump doesn't screw themselves and decide to cancel this. I think that the chances are much lower because the author is already a successful writer, successful manga creator, so I think he's got a little bit more credibility, a little bit more pull than, your average manga creator, coming in brand new. So that's at least something. That's at least something to kind of give a little bit of hope towards, what exactly he could accomplish. And I think it has such a compelling start that people are gonna at least stick to it for, keep an eye to it for a little bit, which I like that. I'm hoping, really hoping that it goes the distance with Chainsaw Man. It's so cool right off the bat. Yeah, I'll tell you, Alric. I'm gonna solo this for a little bit and then probably go into the chat. We can talk about Chainsaw Man and go over some stuff. But I want to go over some of the other chapters this week before that, and then Chainsaw Man we'll get into like a group discussion. That'll be kind of fun. I think she's either gonna affect chronophage because I don't think they can eat gravity stuff. I mean, if you made a black hole is pretty much one of the really good counters to a the time stuff because time can't escape a black hole, right? Like the way that a black hole works because it absorbs like everything around it. I'm not gonna act like I'm some super science mang, but I think I remember hearing about that. Really need to continue watching it. Yeah, I'm excited to see where Chainsaw Man goes. I'm excited to see like if this is the main character, what are all the other characters? Like all the other like there's gonna be the rival. There's the chick that we met at the very end, who I'm guessing is the female lead, and she's probably got some craziness to her. The author's definitely probably like gonna bring some psychotic shit into this series. What do I think the other dragon god powers? I think we'll get one more element, maybe like Earth, and I'm hoping we get more weird attributes. I want like a nether dragon or some form of like vortex or like matter. I definitely want at least two of the five to be really weird attributes because I like that so far with the dragon eaters they aren't elements. I mean you could kind of no you can't really count bone, but with the but with the badassness of the badassnesses of blade and armor dragons, we've got two really cool additions into the way that we can see like the dragon slayers like listing and how exactly they kind of lay out with their power because we just never got much of them to the point where we could formulate what others are, but we know now that outside of the elements that the normal at like strange attribute ones have much much odder like perk abilities, which I like. I think that's pretty sick. Yeah, I don't think Shiki had ever seen Gash before. I'm hoping that he he takes some of that. He gets over there. I hope Shiki does well. Starts hitting up on old Rebecca. Maybe they can get a little move at a little faster pace than Natsu and Natsu and Lucy. That'd be a nice change compared to Freito and Wraith Master if he tries to go much quicker, tries to get some of that gash. Yeah, Denji's powers. I like the simplicity that he's got at the start too. I like that he's got some sick blades and some like regeneration. He's got some healing and regen, and he's got sick chainsaw arms and a chainsaw helmet. It's such a simplistic and badass design that you can explain like his abilities in 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds. You need like 12. And you're like, yeah, he's dude's got chainsaw arms and he can heal. I mean, what else do you really need to explain after that other than he's a badass? And I'm hoping we get to see like a cool technique pretty early on. There's a bunch of staples that I like normal shonen tropes I'm excited to see, but taken from this author's perspective, and see exactly what he spices onto the style. Yeah, the chronophage being that powerful, I didn't think it was just going to be like dashing from planet to planet. So I have a theory that I want to put out, and I'm going to put out there in a second. And I'm going to do a video on it. I think I might get started later tonight and try and get it out tomorrow. Oh, I clicked on a video that I didn't mean to. I've been watching these videos of people like trying to shoplift from gas stations, and I've just been so enticed by how dumb these people are. It's like, why are you risking it to steal $3? Like not even that. There's like $2 a lot of time. They're stealing. Some people are stealing like 80-cent Nutrigrain bars. I'm like, what are you doing? But let's see, Chronophage. Oh, hold on, Sheridan Kane. I mean, that's true as it is. But I have some theories because I yeah, this Chronophage. Well, so far we've seen two different ones. This one looks different. So I'm wondering how many there are, and I'm wondering how they exist, and what exactly goes on. How strong do I think the Vice Captain Magic Knight is compared to the other respects? I think it varies for sure. I think the vice captain's very for sure. The battle of Gamers Rating has been going on longer than I thought it would. Well, yeah, well they just got started. It had a bit of a build up. I mean, really they just started last chapter and now they're on chapter 2. Into the gamble, and then the next one is really going to be where things go on. What's up, JK Network? But with the chronophage, I'm just going to tell you guys my theory right now because it's something really for me to uh, that I'm going to go over, and I don't know if you guys will kind of agree with me or not, but I was thinking that if you look at this chronophage, its head shape, it has a very similar head shape to Acnologia. And I was actually wondering the possibility, the fact that he died in quotation marks inside of the ravines of Daheim, that potentially, maybe he got scattered into like time itself, and maybe that's how chronophages exist, or maybe he's one of them. Obviously, if this dude who consumed this time dimension and then kind of dissolved into it into essentially the time stream itself, maybe spread out that it kind of works like that and just gets really weird. I don't know. It's just a theory that I have of maybe there's some way that he is a cause of it, and it would be a really cool way to mix up and but at the same time connect all of Hiromishima's other stuff. That he's instead of Mishima Verse, he's calling it Mishima World, which I think is pretty cool. So we're gonna have to rebrand what we've been referring to it, and go with the Mishima World. He said he's got some announcements that he's gonna bring out soon, which I'm hoping maybe some form of crossover or some form of special. And with the whole time being not really relevant within the series, and they could just kind of alter things going on at will. That's they could easily pull out. They could easily pull out a point where they can have Haru and Natsu be hanging out with them, but not even having to be as strong as the rest of them. You know, they can have a time fuckery where it's like part two Natsu or part like so right before Sirius Island or something, and then like I don't know halfway in Haru or something. You know, something like that. Yeah, Wise is pretty cool. Yeah, the Chronophase is gonna go around eating planets and shit. It's crazy, JK Network. Wise, like he's definitely unpredictable right now. I don't think anyone's really predicting that he was gonna be this much of an asshole. He's in a and seemingly that's 100% your Mishima's plan is to keep him a jerk. So that we're gonna be seeing him be a bad guy relatively for a while, like a good strong while. That Wise is going to be more of an enemy. I don't know if I'd say enemy, more I'd say more of a nuisance. Like I guess the easiest way would be like when he said that he wasn't on anyone's side. Like he's kind of on his own side. He's always out for himself. And the way that he kind of sets prep and takes out people near him without them like noticing that he's doing stuff kind of makes me think that he has the potential to be a villain. He's got the potential to be an enemy. And it would be cool for him to switch over and be a bad guy for a little bit. Maybe have like a mini arc where he, built a bunch of robots, do a bunch of crazy stuff. You know, what'd be really cool actually is if he, uh, is if while they, if Hiroshima like connected them, you had like someone like Wise like, what's this? He's trying to fix like this robot he found. And it turns out to be like Wall. You can accidentally fix him. I had a theory. Tell me what you guys think about this. I had a theory of how they could bring back Wall. So you remember how when Mira Jane dropped her Sayla and Pluto Grim demon takeover, she was saying how she was like she found like them just laying there and close to death, and she was able to like absorb their souls and bring them into her body and be able to use their abilities. If you remember, Blue Pegasus was down in Hargion where Wall was, and one of them they have is Jenny Real Light, and Jenny has uh I never remember the parts. Machina, whatever. She's got the machine soul. So she found Wall before he was destroyed, or before he kind of like fully died, and found like his remains, absorbed like his Machias. I don't remember how to pronounce. I can never pronounce that name. Machias, whatever. Wall as his, as he is absorbed his whole machinery bits into her and got like a form, but similar to kind of like how someone like Brainiac can absorb himself, like download himself into other machines and continue onward, like as like maybe through like Jenny he could like jump to another machine and then Wall could kind of just jump from machine to machine and bring himself back, rebuild himself. Wouldn't that be awesome? Moscow, I think Moscow, he's either gonna have a powered up form and then Homura and Wise are gonna have to dual defeat him, or that button is gonna pretty much self destruct. I think that's a potential that we could see there from Moscow's ability. The fact that he's got a big button on his stomach says don't push, and when he got shot up by Wise, that is completely like that whole area is unaffected. Maybe he'll roll over and that button will get squished. I don't know. All right, so come back anytime, Master Munster. Yeah, I'm wondering exactly. The Chronophage is actually a really good creature to use that could connect Rave Master, Fairy Tail, and Edom Zero. Because one thing, if you'd notice, they have a lot of similar kind of setups and or like the way that the worlds work. They're slightly different, but one thing that is the same is that they use the same calendar X and then three numbers. And assuming that they're the same as Rave Master, when they get to 999, they reset. There's always the possibility there. There could be a whole number of the things that they could do to fix things up, or they could just say, hey, multiverse. We already had a multiverse constructed with, well, sort of with I don't know how to say it, Edalus. I don't know how I didn't get Edalus off the top of my head. Like that's so weird. I was thinking about it earlier today too, so I don't know how I blanked that is, but we have Edalus, so that you could literally just say, hey, there's another universe where these guys exist, because another video that I actually was thinking about doing is how we don't know where the Exceed come from, right? The Exceed kind of showed up in the Edalus world, and they're obviously something, they're far different than humans. I mean, that's the obvious thing, but we didn't get to see a lot of intelligent species inside of Edalus other than the humans and the Exceed, right? So it could just, we could just have those guys, just those two. Nothing like giants or the normal demons like they have on Galuna Island or uh, Wall's race. It could just be them. And where could the Exceed come from? You don't know. We do know in so far kind of brought up in Eden Zero, there's a planet called Exceed where the Exceed are from, right? So that could be that they are from the planet Exceed in the Edalus world, and somehow they ended up on Edalus. But what if inside of the fairy tale world that the Exceed planet they never came over, and that's why there are Exceed in Edalus, but there aren't Exceed on Earthland, which would be a really cool way to uh, kind of explain things as well, explain something way later on, and it'd be pretty badass to well, no, I don't know if it'd be badass. Pretty interesting, really, to say like, hey, this is exactly why there's no Exceed inside Earthland, but there is over there. Like they never came over. Like one of the differing factors between each universe was one of the things in the universe is the Exceed ended up coming to their planet, and the other one they did not. And maybe there's a string of events there. Maybe that's the differing thing that at some point down the line their societies became very different. Maybe it's partially why their planets are different. We don't even know. We don't know. There's a lot of stuff in there that they could do. I think Aliga potentially could get up. He might have some weird frog ability that I don't know, maybe he'll slight clone himself, like split a piece off like old tadpole or something. I don't know. I would have rather saw that he be somewhat viable and somewhat strong himself, but I mean, I'm not really that heavily invested in him doing stuff. We're getting Shiki versus Jin, which is going to be really awesome. I'm excited for that. I really like Jin. I mentioned it again in my video. Jin's my favorite design so far within Eden Zero. I think he just looks badass. I like his ether gear. I think it's a very simplistic yet cool one, but also it can do a lot of interesting things with his mechanical parts. We've seen that, and I think it'll fit well against somebody like as a rival, somebody who could use wind. At least for now, until Shiki becomes bullshit and has like wormholes or something. I actually was thinking that I think it'd be a lot cooler if Eden Zero never did any crazy power level spikes and like you see like Shiki eventually like smack around chronophages. I would like chronophages to stay as just these cosmic disasters. Like if you were some form of sailor, you were on a ship and a giant tsunami hit, like instead of being able to like, oh yeah, we'll just deal with that. Like, okay, there's nothing really to go against. It's just, oh, chronophage, yeah, get the hell out of here. We're leaving. See ya. And just to kind of keep that thrill going on, I want that to kind of be a thing. I'm not against crazy power level jumps, but I would like that to be a thing. Plus, like right now, I think we're pretty solid and consistent with what we've been presented. What do you think Kimura's goal is? I don't know. I feel like she wants to take Eden Zero, the ship. I think she wants it, and she's gonna end up taking out the in quotations, Demon King as some form of crusader. It kind of seems like it to me. Maybe there's something she's supposed to find, and she needs the Eden Zero ship. Like for instance, imagine that her master, the person who gave her the sword, is like, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere else. The only way that you'd be able to find me is on the Eden Zero ship, and she wants to take it for herself and go over there to try and locate him. I don't know, something like that. Who do you think is stronger between Homura and Shiki? My money right now is on Homura because she just seems way more combat skilled at the moment. I mean, we don't know the extent of her, but we've seen Shiki's gravity comment. That was definitely very powerful. But that's the only thing that really he has that seems way more impressive than what she displayed, just kind of like going around and slicing stuff. Like, 'cause otherwise, why didn't Shiki just try that missile? I think a lot of people have overestimated Shiki's abilities a bit, and we need to, reevaluate that. I think with like straight off the bat, unless he can get that gravity comment, I think that Homura is overall stronger. Well, I guess more regularly stronger than he's stronger overall with like the gravity comment. Until we see more like full body ether gear, like things like that from other characters. In a straight 1v1, I'd probably put my money on Homura. She seems way more combat skilled. Because one thing that when you look at if you look at the if you look at Haru, Natsu, and Shiki, Haru was training, quote unquote. He was doing like shitty island bumpkin training and didn't really actually amount to a whole lot. He was just kind of like working out and like punching stuff. He didn't have any actual real skill and experience in combat. Natsu, at the time of when we met him, he was already pretty skilled both in combat and his ability because he'd been out doing stuff for a while. And with Shiki had skill with his ability, but he didn't really have much for combat experience. So I think that'll be that would be his downfall as it is right now. If you put him against Tamura, Tamura seems like she's got a lot more training, a lot more actual experience in fighting other people. What other abilities I think Jin can do? I don't know. I think right now it's just gonna be his ether gear and maybe some detachable parts. Maybe he's got a couple weapons. Like maybe he'll pull out like a plasma sword or an energy shuriken, something that is simplistic, but not something simplistic and versatile, but nothing really kind of like makes him a big threat just off that, and somehow turns the tables. Like he's gonna pull out a second ether gear or some crazy ass ability. What I think's to do with Shiki's Berserker Rage, I think he just doesn't know how to channel his anger even close. Like if you look for example, when Gadgiel had Lucy captured and he was throwing knives at her, you had an occurrence of Nazi. He busts through the ground. He's ready to fight. He's all serious, but he still seemed like he was in control. He seemed, he's pissed off. Screw this guy. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. I'm ready. But he was still very much, kind of knowing what he was doing. Shiki just looked like he had that like seeing red moment, and it was just, unleash, like just laser pinpointed aggression and nothing, no real control. And I think that has to do with the fact that he's very socially awkward and he doesn't know how to express himself. He grew up very sheltered, so like anger like that to him, it's very raw and it's very untempered. I mean, I guess if you looked at like each of their angers, Haru was more like Haru was much more, I'd say, like pulled back mad. But when it came to it was either kind of pull back, be a little bit more defensive, or be straight up, sort of like face to face, like I'm ready to attack. Get in there and try and end things quickly. Natsu seemed just to be like, I'm ready to beat the shit out of this dude. I don't care how long it takes. This guy's going down. Shiki is just like exclamation points, like just mad. Do you think Shiki will get an army? I don't know how large I want his crew to grow to is the thing. Like, I want it to have a nice, cool crew, but I don't want it to be huge. I don't want it to get too overwhelming. I think it'd be cooler to have, like, a base crew, and then maybe have a couple people on the ship that you don't see that much, but are, they're there. You just don't see them a lot because they're doing stuff. And then cycle characters in and out. I think that'd be a lot cooler. Sorry, the new Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked seeing all the character development with Yuji. I thought that was pretty cool of him, and real nice step forward for his character, kind of realizing exactly what he needs to do, where exactly he needs to take himself in order to continue down this path of being a shaman. Thought that was nice of him. I like Yuji. He's pretty cool. Yuji and Denji though should team up. Go hunt some monsters. Sort of a lot more experience than Luffy. Yeah, but Luffy is I don't know. Luffy gets unfair like power ups all the time. And I don't mind power ups when they're temporary. Permanent power ups like that. It's like, come on, dude. How is it you're this much ahead of everybody else? I don't know. Zoro though seems stronger than Luffy as he is right now. I don't know. I feel like Zoro is more powerful. Luffy will probably pass him out soon, but I think as is still, I think Zoro's stronger. Yeah, I don't. Shiki doesn't have much for battles. It looks more like it's all sparring and I don't know, probably pretend with like the robots and stuff. Sister by the end of the arc, maybe remodeled. Maybe wives will be able to remodel her and like fix the problem of whatever someone did to her. Because they said like that she had the same ID number, but was it same ID number and same voice but different build or something? I can't remember which ones were exactly the same. Isn't Vito dead? Vito is not dead. Don't be hating on Vito. Catch up on Black Clover, Jared Punch. I don't want their crew to be as big as the Fairy Tail Guild. Well, the Fairy Tail Guild was big, but you didn't see a lot of their members because it was really like I said, it was like the core members, and then people would cycle in and out. Or it didn't need to be a ton of people. You didn't need to have some mass load of characters to flood the stage. You had some people you had to cycle them in, bring them about. I wish Elfman got more love. Oh man, Elfman, I was never ever sure if Elfman was ever going to get to join an arc. It always seemed like he was going to, but never did. He was just always like, that maybe character floating in on the side of he might do something, so just don't forget about him, but don't expect anything. And it's like, oh, poor Elfman. What are you gonna do, buddy? When are you gonna get your time? You haven't had in shit since the Grand Magic Games. That's alright, Jared Punch. I mean, be careful. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Gosh. Let me keep reading. Let me see. So Shiki probably won't get his own Grand Fleet like Livy. Oh, I mean, eventually I feel like he'll. No, I would like it if he kept his to his own ship, just the one Eden Zero ship, and just had a crew on there. Because otherwise, it would be hard for him to go around doing stuff. And he's already got like this super ship. Just keep like have a massive stacked like crew and like fleet, but packed into one ship. And maybe that could be why Eden Zero was so good. It's like a fleet, but it's all it needs is the one. That'd be pretty awesome. It's got everything on there. You just have this huge mix of stuff. That'd be oh god, I hiccuped. That'd be pretty badass for him. God, I hiccuped again. Sorry if you heard that. Sally for the Black Bulls. Yes, I agree. Sally definitely needs to be part of the Black Bulls. Like I said, I mentioned this a couple times. Sally is the only one that I think will for sure join the Clover. At least one of the teams within the end of the arc, even if she's kind of just like roll around, even if she's not an official character, I think she'll stick with him. Baltros, I think, will go off and do his own thing, and Raditz, I think, will stay his as an independent unit and become his own faction, potentially just like his own zombie horror or something. Catching on Promise Neverland was neat. I'm gonna read Promise Neverland when it's finished. The fact that it's already almost done, I'm like, well, I'm already this behind. I might as well just wait. It's got like what a year and a half left, and then I can just power read through it. Jin after he's beaten. Well, I suspect Jin will. I'm hoping Jin kind of becomes like the classic enemy that gets beaten and then becomes a good guy. But I'd like Jin to kind of float around as more of an independent for a while and then eventually join in. And just kind of, you run into him occasionally. He might help out on an arc. He might show up and aid in a fighter or something. And then, I don't know, a couple arcs in, he ends up kind of joining the Eden Zero crew. He could join after this for all we know. I could see him joining right now, like more of a thing than a Wise end up, grouping up with them as it is around. Jin is let from Raven. No, well, I mean, in that spot, like there, a lot of series end up doing that. Some enemy that you beat and then becomes a buddy. That's a trope that I think everyone likes. I think it's always fun to see. Personality wise, no, like Let was like a really honorable, cool guy. He had a lot of pride and he liked to play fairly and fight to where things were, on a level that didn't seem one-sided. Jin just kind of he's like, "Fuck you, dude. Quit trying to interfere with my business. Get out of here. You're not gonna screw up our merchandise, obviously." And Shiki's just like, hey asshole, these are people. How about you quit being such a dick? And now they're gonna battle, which is I'm curious to know what exactly Shiki's gonna pull out, and I'm also extremely curious to know what Natsu's gonna pull out. No, it's a shame though, cause man, it's very weird how much so far Natsu hard counters both Haru and Shiki, just the way that like ether works. Like they're ether in there is pretty much the same as ether nano and fairy tale. And even though magic is different in Rave Master, I don't think that I still don't see Haru being much of a match for Natsu. I think that even though he's got a lot of skills, a lot of fighting experience, I don't think he's got as much against hand to hand people. Nor do I think he's going to be able to deal with that like radiation of heat that's coming up Natsu. I think just that I think a lot of people underestimate it when they think about how powerful he is. Just that heat level that he gives off by default. What's up, Andres? How's it going? As well as seeing as the ether should work the same in Eden Zero, Natsu's fire should be able to burn it. Haru versus Nightwalker. I mean, if it would have to be like halfway through the series Haru, at least pre-Revolt Haru for sure. Do I think the first Wizard King was reincarnated into Nero? That'd be pretty cool. I mean, Nero could be anybody. Nero could actually be the creature inside the grimoire for all we know. Something really weird. There could be something really weird about Nero that we haven't figured out. I mean, he could be a reincarnated member that like from way back when of someone invaluable like the Wizard King, the first one. What'd be really weird is if the one inside Licht's body is the first actual Wizard King, and Licht is actually the one inside Nero, and that's why he's helping him. He's trying to figure out how to be on his side, how to figure out what to do towards them. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze again. Hold on. No wait. No wait. God damn, it's one of these fucking sneezes. Don't you hate that when you think you're gonna sneeze and then for like 10 straight seconds it's on and off of whether or not it wants you actually want to sneeze. The Edens are about 10 to 12. Yeah, I can see that. Well, each of the star shines, that's 4. Whoever is behind that door is definitely that's another one, that's 5. They're gonna need a lot of the basics. Do you think we'll get Jin's backstory? I think we'll get part of it. I think we'll get a little bit of it. Maybe something like he had to fight on the streets to survive. Just like some basic understandings, but not like the deeper stuff that we'll probably get later. Oh, that'd be horrible if a moth sneezed and got scales everywhere because uh, they need those to, they need to fly. Like they need all the scales. Like Lepidoptery, lepid is scales. What are they gonna do at that point? One second. Okay, I'd respond to somebody talking shit. Oh man, fucking, I love looking at the Chainsaw Man. I really like that, like his power, like how to do it is he's got this startup cord, and it makes me think if you've ever read uh the series before Black Clover, Hungry Joker, the main character got his powers that he bit into an apple. It was the apple that fell on, was it Newton? Who was the guy that wrote the whole stuff for Gravity? I think it was Newton. Newton Gravity. Uh, I don't want to start. Yeah, Newton's law of universal gravity. Okay, I don't want to continue with that if I didn't at least Google it so I don't look like an idiot. But he got his ability to manipulate gravity by biting into it, and they had all these. You pretty much got your power from specific like items in like scientific history, and he bit into it. He got the power of gravity, but the more he ate of it, the higher his gravity level went. Like it'd be cool if like the more times that like Denji, the Chainsaw Man, like revs up this chest cord, the more powerful he becomes or something. Or maybe like it'll depend on the fuel intake. Or maybe he'll get different types of chainsaws. Could you imagine a scythe chainsaw? I never even thought of that. That'd be fucking awesome. Scythe chainsaw just sounds like it'd be tense. Oh gosh. I think Dorothy Matters for usually I sleep. Yeah, I imagine it has something to it. I had a character that I thought of for my own, nerdy fantasy that had a similar. It was a dream style character, not the same, but it was a little bit more hectic. Like there was like very little control, but I mean, like I guess it was dreamish. Not the same thing. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Do you think Justice from Eden Zero will be Shiki's ally or enemy? I see him being kind of independent. Yeah, Eden, the thing about Hungry Joker I thought was really cool was just the uniqueness of the powers. I really like that. I mean, I can get why it was canceled. Unfortunately, a lot of the characters weren't like a lot of the characters weren't too interesting. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that was kind of half thought through, but not ready for serialization. I don't know, but he definitely came back with Black Clover, and he had like all the characters ready with their own personalities and backstories and everything kind of set up, and I thought that was really cool. That's kind of what I got. The same thing with Horikoshi with My Hero Academia, because you really got the Tiamat, I think was the guy's name, the kind of like the mentory character, and then the main character. They had depth to him, but a lot of the stuff that was set up at that point, it wasn't character wise, it wasn't that interesting, but it obviously like the world and the environment and stuff, it was pretty cool. But same thing with him. I think when he came back with My Hero Academia, he had way more stuff set and ready, just because they probably had a little bit. They had their feet wet. They knew, hey, probably the pros that people gave them, and then the cons that they probably got, and they figured out along the way, probably reading reviews and stuff. And I'm hoping that that happens for more. I'm still mad that the dude that made Iron Knight didn't get Red Sprite in. Sad that got canceled. Still sad about Golem Hearts, but hopefully Chainsaw Man can continue. Oh gosh, let me keep reading what you guys have. Do you think Elsie will get justice? I want to be captured so bad. What do you think? Elsie did get... Wait, hang on. What do you think? Elsie... Oh, did he get justice? I think she's just like a maybe like a criminal he's been following for his whole career. Like, I think it'd be really cool if it was like when she started doing stuff. His was when he started up his career in their whole space authority, and just that long cat and mouse game. I think would be pretty cool, and I think that'd be a lot of fun for their character, and it'd be a very very understandable thing as well, and have some very basic simplicity to it. But events along the way could have made it like do something really more fun with it. Is anyone else reading the side story, the Happy Grand Adventure? I'm actually really interested in it. Like something I think is really fun is they managed to they could keep a level of severity interesting. Like they have like a little cheetah guy, and he can make like little shockwaves when he kicks with his little powerful cheetah legs. It's funny because he's got these. I think his name is Chi. I think it's just Chee, and he's like a threat for happy level people, and like obviously, if someone like Natsu just watched it, it'd be like watching babies fight. But like for for Happy, he's just like, God damn, how is this guy so strong? And you just watch him roll around and battle. I'm very curious to know how things go, though I'm not too keen on all the furries. But I mean, I like Happy, and I want to see him do stuff. And I kind of like the little cheetah guy. I think it'd be really cool if they brought the little cheetah dude in, and it turns out he's somehow an Exceed or learns the area magic, and then goes and teams up with Laxus. Please let that be a thing. I really want it to somehow be canon. Well, to somehow it's already I think it's already canon, but somehow improve the rest of the story through canon. That'd be awesome. One second. Oh gosh. Oh golly. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm having a little bit of stuffed nose recently. I'm getting randomly sick. I wouldn't say sick. I think I'm just getting a little congested. But I figured I'd talk to you guys for a bit today. So, ever seen Sin City? I mean, I haven't. That's one of those books I've always meant to. Am I screwing myself over? Am I thinking of another book? Sin City. Yes, Sin City is a graphic novel that got made into a movie, right? Yeah. I've seen some of the movies. I haven't read much for the comics, but it's one of those ones people always recommend for me. And it's always those ones that I'm just like, I'll get there eventually. There's so much stuff. Yeah, I like her fleet. I think that's the coolest part about Elsie so far. I don't think anybody can fight Licks. The people, Patry, Patry probably still, Raya for sure, and Licked for sure are way too high above anybody's level in within the Clover now. For sure, Licked. Like I don't know how anyone's gonna beat Licked. Because Asta is a threat to a lot of the people within the Clover. I mean, vice captains were within his defeating range. It went while he's in his anti magic form, but captains even with it, he wasn't, he still wasn't shit. But he normally is kind of that like Asta's base strength is he's in that upper normal class Magic Knight, and then with his anti magic, he's in that vice captain area. But imagine, Licht, who's already Wizard King level with anti-magic swords. It's like, what are these guys gonna do? Like there's no way he can't just one-shot each person he goes up against. He's fast enough, smart enough, combat experienced enough, knowledgeable enough. Like, I feel like he's just gonna like do that whole shit. Like when and has to try to find him, he's gonna be so quick that he's gonna be right in front of him and stab him through the chest and have no problem, if he wants to, killing anybody that he really is seeing. How's my list of shows been going? It's been getting better. I've been getting to it. I'm right now. My manga plans. I'm reading for one of my friends, Tokyo Ghoul, then 20th Century Boys, Pandora Hearts, and then maybe Attack on Titan. One of my friends really wants me to read Attack on Titan, and I read it back up to like chapter 40 or something when it was still like when 40 was the newest chapter, and I was just like, I don't know if I like this. But he says it gets way better, and he really wants me to read it, so I'm gonna get to it eventually. I'll get to it eventually. So that'll happen, like a double demon cloak or something. Asta probably gonna do power up stork. Uh, I don't know. I think what I would like, so what I want in this, when Asta gets, if he gets some form of power up, I want it to be instead of being like, hey, I can do a double, a double horn improvement. I would rather it be a lose control power up. Something happens where with the whole like bit when we saw when he was talking to the creature in the grimoire, back when he was going up against Landros, that he wanted to switch places and he wanted to take control of Asta's body. And instead, Asta got he got a little bit of he got the anti magic for him, and he was still in control. I'd rather it be a point where it's the creature in the grimoire takes over, kind of like, I mean, I guess the easiest way is more like to describe as someone but like Guts in his full berserk armor, or Hollow Ichigo back when he first became Hollow Ichigo and he was just completely like let loose, crazy, like go on attack, be wild, and then that just be kind of a glimpse of what he could be capable of later. Because I would like it if before Asta I'd like it if before Asta had the ability to use to channel his anti magic form further to where he's got maybe a higher level two forms. I want it to be able so he can put on the one he has now and be able to hold on to it and like sustain that form, because he can really only sustain it for a handful of seconds right now. He can pull out really one technique and then it dissipates. It's that's kind of the thing though with it right now, which is pretty cool. Like it's got some balance to it, even though that it gives him a huge boost. He's got to charge it, and he can only use it a few times a day, and really only a few seconds within that that use, and he can only really use one technique, like for real. Also, I gotta say, really quick while I shill, if you haven't yet, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't. I was very worried recently about getting in some trouble with with how YouTube has been handling some stuff, and I pulled away a little bit, but I just decided like I got some consultation. I talked to some bigger YouTubers. They told me just don't just don't make reviews on those specific manga, and you'll be fine. I said okay, I guess I'll look I'll be careful about it. I might I might try and do it actually and just go back to it because they're both really far behind. I think Mimesis and Marygrave are both like it's like 7 or 8 chapters ahead in the Japanese version than they are in the translated English version right now. Hold on. What do you think of their starship? I'm guessing one of them I think is going to be some form of sealed, like in behind some form of like I don't know. I went to sleep to meditate inside of a temple in the depths of some planet. You got to go and clear it to get to said character. And I think one of them I think will be more of a maybe like just show up and arrive and save the day at one point. Oh gosh. Do you think Natsu, Urza, and Wendy are able to body the Dragoners? I don't think body. I don't think body. I don't see any of them getting stomped. The only one that I think is going to lose for sure here is Kyria, just like after that display of just complete and total humiliation on hers. I think she's gonna defeat her, and she figured out obviously a way to counter that whole hypnosis ability she has. Just keep her real life shut and fight her only looking with her fake eye, which should be way more beneficial to her, way more set to be able to fight her on even. Obviously, we haven't seen them go all out, which is one of the things that should still be in their favor. I've seen so many ridiculous posts online of people saying like, "Oh, I don't get how these guys aren't getting one shot. Natsu defeated Zeref and Agnologia, so he should be able to beat them. Fucking Urza defeated Irene and destroyed a meteor. Like, how are they not one shot these guys?" I'm like, well, stupid. For one, Natsu only defeated Zeref because he had that limit break and he had his Savage Dragon Fire, which is so hot and so powerful, like compared to his own. It was way beyond what he could handle, and it was literally burning off his arm. So he can't just do that willy nilly. He can't just be like, "Oh, I'm losing to this guy. Hold on, let me bust out this crippling attack that will fuck up my arm if I don't get it fixed quickly." Like we don't even know how long it took him to recover after that. Like it's so it left him in such a bad state. And then with Akinogi, Natsu didn't defeat Akinogi like purely off his powers. He beat him because they were weakening him in Hargion with motion sickness, which we already know drastically, like 1,000%. Like a fucking a Dragon Slayer under motion sickness is like 1%, maybe. Like 1,000% is probably what they're at. Something like just completely neutered their strength level when they're under motion sickness. And as well as he had a sevenfold Unison Raid Dragon Force power up using all the combined power of all the Dragon Slayers, and Acton only wasn't able to block because Igneal tore his arm off a year ago, which I've seen also as a really dumb argument of like, how did he forget he didn't have an arm? Like, dude, the dude's hundreds of years old. He's been in one fight in the last like who knows how many, like 100 or 2 years, and he like since the last fight, this is the first time he's done anything. I mean, if you spent centuries with two arms fighting with two arms, You're not going to be so honed that, oh man, I lost an arm. I've fully adapted to where I've forgotten how to fight with two arms. I only fight with one arm. Now that's ridiculous. No, it's going to be instinctual. He's going to go to block with his second fucking arm. And then obviously with Urza, she hasn't used her fire pants armor against Kira yet. We already know if, well, some people don't seem to know exactly what her fire pants armor does. Her fire pants armor, which I don't know why it never got an actual name. I'd usually just refer to it as Vagabond Urza, but I don't know. I think fire pants is way more quick for people to remember to what exactly what I'm talking about. It's it doesn't it doesn't do what I think a lot of people just think. Oh, fucking just makes her win. It increases her attack and speed by diverting like her magic from all the other stats and areas directly into attack and speed. She's only been able to defeat people when she puts it on if the thing that is making, her lose is the opponent having superior speed and attack, similar to Ikaruga, uh, Azuma, fucking Kagura, Kyoka, fucking, well, sort of Kyoka. Like half that with Kyoka. The meteor, when it comes to this thing is more powerful, is putting it in as a higher power output and is faster. That's when she puts it on. When you put it, for instance, you put her when she fought Minerva, that like speed and power output wasn't why she was losing. It was the like Minerva's manipulation of space. So okay, busts out Nakagami armor where she can go in, cut through the space and the magic, and she could deal direct damage. So obviously that makes way more sense of why she used that. Or with Azir, she didn't like she. I think she. I don't remember exact 100% if she tried her fire pants armor against Azir, but it wouldn't have worked. Obviously with the way that he was, like his abilities countered hers. He had intangibility. He had a huge range of motion. He could turn her weapons into sand. Like it's silly to say that somehow the Dragon Eaters, like I've seen people somehow rank them below the Spriggan 12 at the same time of somehow putting them on a pedestal with Zeref and Acnologi, which makes no sense. Like, how do you do that? How do you put someone on a low level and a top level at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. Where I see them right now, the Kyria, Madmol, and Scarion should be upper Spriggan 12, but right now there's no way they're above Eileen and August. Eileen and August are for sure above them, as they are shown. They can be stronger. They can end up stronger because we know how dragons are very unpredictable power-wise within the series, as well as dragon slayers. But as of right now, they're definitely below August and Eileen. So we can get that strong Spriggan 12 tier, but we haven't seen them go all out. We've seen Madmol block a base Demolition Fist from Natsu, and we've seen Kyria block slashes. The only other really impressive thing we've seen is Scarion take a Demon Slayer Zeroth sword, Zeroth longsword, and then just like shrug it off. Obviously, that means, like I said, they should be in the Spriggan 12 range, but they're Dragon Slayers, so they have really high durability because when you look at Dragon Slayers across the board, no matter what, they're durable. That's their biggest trait is durability. So them being extremely like Scarion being very durable makes sense. Even though you have someone like a Nineheart or Azir would probably get defeated if they got hit by that, but they're not made to be durable. Their fighting style does not include for durability. It's a little bit goofy. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see, Camps. I already saw that asteroid. I saw that. Let me see. What do you think? I read that. You think what ether gear do you think Rebecca have? I would like Rebecca to have just like a general empowering, or maybe like machine cladding. Like if she if she clad the happy bot guns onto her arms, and they had more like a Mega Buster, like Mega Man, that'd be pretty sick. Do you think Ray will fight this girl again? No. So the way I'm hoping, Urza, Kyria, Natsu, Scarion, Wendy, Madmol. Because I think Wendy would have the best chance against Madmol with her ability, like the fact that Wind is going to be hard on hard armor, like, and be able to maybe dispel. Maybe she can give debuffs. I think she'll have more. I think that one thing about Wendy that I think would be very very cool to do post Eileen fight is to give her way more enchants and way more enchanting abilities instead of just uh, way more than just like straight power level increase. Like give her way more versatility with her abilities. Yeah, so that's one of the things I think I mentioned before Zach got us. I would like it if another Dragon Eater showed up and interrupted the fight. And then it turns out these guys are like middle class for their guild, and this person shows up and they're just like way more powerful. We got actually somebody. What's up, Lord Black Wolf? Like one of the guys shows up and he or she is like, around August or Eileen level, when you're like, damn, where'd this guy come from? Something pretty cool. What's up, Elric? Come back? Oh, yeah, that's good if you're helping your mom, dude. It's okay. Rebecca Ether gonna get her powers. Like, yeah, that'd be really cool. Something like Starfire. hmm. What Ether grid I think Justice Love? I would like it to. So I would actually really like it to continue the line of some form of like celestial body magic, like uh similar to what Jalal and Seek Heart have, but I want it to be different in its own right. I don't really know what it would kind of retain to, but I would like it to kind of relate and kind of tie in to where you can see similarities, but you can differentiate it with theirs, because obviously something you can notice with something like Seekheart to Jalal. Seekheart was way more of a caster, and then he developed a little bit of anti-mage fighting abilities with his magic absorbing sword, and Jalal was straight like roundabout wizard, because he had range, he had maneuverability, he had mid range, close range, he had big demolition spells, much more kind of like prepared to do a larger range of spells depending on the situation. With Justice, I would like it to kind of I don't really know, maybe do something like big space weapons. I don't know, something like that. I don't really know. It's a little bit harder now because we don't know the full range of ether gears and how they kind of pertain. If they could just be anything kind of like magic, or if there's a set style that they have to kind of fall into, I guess. But one of the things I've been thinking about that I'm hoping for is with I know for a fact Hiroshima is a fan of the Bravely series, and if you know anything about Bravely and Bravely Second, there's a character named Ring a Bell who is tied in, like you find out the second game he's in this group of like people who, I mean, I guess I could kind of like an authority across, at least from what I was able to tell, an authority across like the multiverse. They're just kind of like, I guess it's kind of like the Time Patrol if you've played Xenoverse, the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games, kind of like that. And then from what I recall, there's more versions of Ring a Bell in there. He's kind of like a tied-in character that has to do with that. I think, like if somehow the mark, like the Jalal look like that tattoo mark may connect them. Someone kind of in that line where there might be a bridge to each universe, something like that. I don't know. I'd like to see where exactly that kind of ends up. God Serena versus the Dragons. God Serena would probably get his shit kicked in. I like God Serena's design, and he's actually a lot more powerful than people give him credit for. He should at least be stronger than Ikusatsu Nagi, for sure. Like, he should be for sure stronger than base Natsu, who's someone who one-shot Ikusatsu Nagi. We can definitely say that he should be stronger than base Natsu, because Natsu he was pretty impressed by how strong God Serena was when he was attacking. I mean, base Natsu isn't really far off to really assume. and he's got the ability to be immune to and regain stamina from 4 different elements, and they're the basic elements, so it'd be really easy: fire, earth, water, and air. Like, easy. Okay, breathe in deeply, bam, stamina regen. Like, grab a rock off the ground, eat it, stamina regen. Hey, there's water, drink some, stamina regen. And Dragon Slayer's stamina regen is crazy, so it's definitely something that I think people overlook when addressing how strong he is. That's fine, Ulrich. If you got important stuff to do, I understand, dude. I'll be on there for a while tonight. I'm gonna probably be on the stream for maybe another 20 minutes, and then I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes, and then play some games. Maybe I've been playing a lot of Darksiders 3 recently, trying to beat that game. I'm near the end, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna be keeping up with Boruto. Yeah, I've been reading Boruto. I'm actually pretty interested in the guy that seems to be similar to Jiraiya. I think it's somebody who stole his body. I think that's what these guys are into. They're stealing people's bodies. What you're thinking to do, I think LC will have. Uh, hmm. I think she'll have. God, it's hard now because at first I thought it was gonna be space, but then we got like machines and we got frickin' we got wind. I don't really have a firm guess on it because it could be anything. I would like to believe. Um. Uh, I'm hoping it has something to do with her whole skull fairy thing. I'm hoping it maybe has like a bone sword or something. Like she'll be like a bone swordsman, or she'll have some form of skeletal magic. That's that we never really got to see much of in both Fairy Tail and Rave Master, is some form of skeletal magic. Is gonna assume their eye patch. That'd be cool. If her eye was ether, that actually would be pretty interesting. Maybe she can like and warp space and areas she looks or something. That'd be pretty badass. Oh golly. Hmm. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm actually a lot more interested in the weird dude that we've seen in her crew that has that. I don't know. He makes me think of Geen from Bleach. Just that way that he has that smile. I don't think he has a name. You see him like he's the only person I think in that promotional poster of Eden Zero that we haven't had a name for. He's like next to Elsie, and he's got like the black bowl cut hair that covers his eyes, and he's like in a spacesuit. I'm interested in him just because we don't know anything about him yet. It could end up being something really crazy. Could be something nothing. Hmm. What's up, Andres? How's it going? Who's that? The hair in Elsie's crew. Wait, yeah, that guy is like the hair in Elsie's crew. He's kind of pretty something. I don't know. I would like it to be more of a like mischievous kind of guy. Maybe some form of like a. You never know what he's planning. Maybe he's like a trap style person. When you fight him, you don't know exactly where what he's hiding. Maybe he's got a bunch of things pulled up his sleeve. I actually would like to see more alien characters. Even though it turned out not to be Elsie that we saw, that parasite that took form of her, I thought it was cool just to see general like a character who could generally like manipulate their own body. Didn't have anything to do with ether gear, just had to see like a straight like racial ability. I thought was pretty cool. I mean, I hope that guy doesn't throw mutiny. Hmm. Yeah, that guy being like Geen, I think I really liked Geen. I'm wondering. did he ever get confirmed? Well, he's definitely dead. I was like, did he ever get confirmed? I'm like, wait a minute, like Bleach's years of like above where or past where that happened. So him being alive would be more of a shocker. Huh. I'm getting one of my friends to read Rave Master, and he's almost done. He wants a Snake Woman as a criminal. That'd be pretty cool. Like I said, I want some alien people. I would like to see some alien characters in there, just because we didn't get, we did, we, I mean, we didn't get a lot of that in either Rave Master or Fairy Tail. We had Lizard Man for a while. We didn't have any things like that, like a snake person. Any form of alien monster guy who just kind of like stands out like that. I don't know. I think it's maybe some form of like DNA altering ether could be pretty sick. What if that was something like Elsie and she could absorb the abilities of like species that she cuts down like into her like an ether sword, and then she could be like, bam, this race could teleport like 10 feet, bam, like switch to that like similar to Urza's Requit, but with like alien racial abilities. Wouldn't that be freaking cool as hell? If Hiroshima doesn't use that, I call dibs. He pretty much becomes like Swordsman Ben 10. Like, wouldn't that would be fucking super cool, actually. I'm trying really hard to constantly like switch between mute and unmute if I had to sneeze just because my nose right now. Jeez. Andres, have you read Chainsaw Man yet? Do this what I'm using for the background. Read Chainsaw Man if you haven't. Like I did a review on it where Rebecca's guildmaster is. What if it turns out the guildmaster works for Rogue Out, or maybe yeah, but actually I'm gonna go with that for right now. I think that'd be pretty sick. Monster girls are good people though, Andres. Monster girls are your friends. They want to help you. They're only in it to better you. Monster girls can definitely they could save a life one day. They could save a life, and they could do good things for good people. So I'm gonna start preparing probably like 5, 6, 7 Clash profiles, and then get them uploaded and ready. Cause next week I'll be busy for like 2 weeks doing obviously holiday Christmas stuff. So I won't do any reviews until after that period, which I mean that's probably pretty lucky for me because I think only one chapter will come out within that period because there'll be a week off. Usually a lot of manga magazines take a week off for Christmas, so that week there probably won't be much for us to really go over. But I think that there should be a couple videos I'm gonna upload between that. I'm gonna upload and then put out to you guys between that one. There'll probably be like I'm guessing between 5 to 7 Clash profiles for you guys to look at and read through or not read through, watch and get things prepared up. I want to get a lot more kind of going. I have a couple picked out, a couple easy ones that wouldn't take very long to get through. Yeah, dude, Chainsaw Man is awesome, Elric. Definitely do a review on it. Then it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely gonna be following it. As long as it doesn't get canceled, I'm gonna be buying them volumes for sure. Do I think there'll be an Arachion Sace organization insert? I hope so. It's stuff like that. I really hope he carries over. It doesn't. They don't have to be the same group. Like if you look at the Arachion Sace and Arachion 6, even though they have similar names, one's Rave Master, one's Fairy Tail, the groups aren't similar. They don't have similar goals. Like the characters don't really mesh. I think that I like that there'd be a 6. Would it be like Demon Sace at this point. You'd have to switch one word up to be Spanish, and then one to be English. Make make it make it like Oracion, and then have like the number 6 in like French. Do French because I know Hiromishima's been chilling with the Frenchies lately. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Chainsaw Man. God, I'm stoked for more Chainsaw Man. I'm definitely gonna be getting more towards it. It's so cool. Uh, just that look. There's like the standing panel, and he's got his hands just resting in two different, not even swinging, resting in two different zombie faces. Who do you trust more, Wise or Homura? Homura. I mean, Wise. I think Wise is an interesting character because he's so different. But definitely, yeah, definitely don't trust him. He doesn't seem trustworthy as he is at the moment, for sure. For sure, definitely non-trustworthy material. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Drop any last-minute questions. This one was a nice, more comfortable stream. Next week's stream will have, obviously a new fairy tale chapter, so probably be a little bit thicker. Next one will probably be a little bit more heavier. I'm gonna have kept the thing Yami versus Future Rogue. Depends. Future Rogue isn't as fast as Yami. If you assume that their speed is the same, Future Rogue should be able to win by just having a larger arsenal, and we know that that the way that the way that the shadow and light within both of their worlds actually cancel each other out, like they kind of neutralize each other. We saw that literally both in Black Clover and in Fairy Tail. We've seen that light and darkness kind of cancel each other out. Plus, he'd be able to make himself stronger by eating his darkness magic. So that'd be obviously putting somebody with an element against a dragon slayer of the same element. It's already an unfair an unfair bout. Okay, so if you guys got any questions you want to drop last minute, I'm gonna end it. Probably work on another video. I gotta do my Jujutsu Kaisen review, and I wanna do a theory video. I haven't done a theory video in forever, so I wanna bust one out and probably do one of Mishima World as it is. Last one, Yami versus Zoro. Yami would fucking kill Zoro, dude. Fucking his dimension slash would kill Zoro. Like the thing about it is One Piece characters don't have resistance to magic at all. Like he's durable, but his durable body isn't gonna really matter when you have a sword that cuts space. Are there any centipede people in your manga? Yeah. So I told you there's a couple ideas I have. One of them is very bug themed, and yeah, there's definitely some centipede people in there. Can't tell if Wise's motivation is left as soon as he get all or something stuff. Yeah, the dude is very you really can just look at it. Whatever is most beneficial to him is probably what he's gonna do. He's very scummy as he is right now. We know that. I mean, he's a scoundrel. He's a criminal. Well, so once we get, once it'll be a while before he becomes more of a good guy. He's definitely he's not more of an evil guy right now. He's just like you said. He's not on anyone's side. He's very much out for whatever's gonna benefit him the most. Whatever benefits him the most is really gonna be whatever side he goes on. Well, yeah, Nakagami armor should be fine cutting through Yami's magic, and we already know Urza can tank dimension-cutting slashes from her fight with Ikaruga. Ikaruga had a sword that can cut through into other dimensions, so it should be fine from her. Yami versus Mikoto for my Hime, especially over Smash. So, dude, Yami's too versatile, I think, for her. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll do a that might be a match eventually for a Clash video. I gotta do Yami at some point. Do a Clash profile for him. Do a Clash profile on Mikoto. But yeah, so it's gonna be it for today, guys. I hope you guys have a pretty nice early point of the week. I'm gonna this is the wrap up point of the video. So if you haven't yet, subscribe, thumbs up, maybe recommend me to one of your friends, and I look forward to my other videos. Drop comments of anything you wanna suggest. definitely gonna be following Chainsaw Man for sure. I really like Chainsaw Man. But otherwise, thank you very much, guys. See ya.